If you're always tired, overwhelmed, or think you are lazy, it is not your fault. You're nervous.
You take a deep breath and then continue speaking. The reason people aren't comfortable with the pause is because they don't know what the pause is for.
Right.
The pause allows people to process what you're saying. Think about it now, listeners, as you're listening to that, the moment I paused, you had a moment to process the things that I was saying. Do you want to be more charismatic? You see, in the world of communication, there are two fundamental areas. Didn't that just seem really important? I was so bad at interactions with human beings. There was just a period of my life where I didn't understand what anybody was saying to me.
You're saying that everyone can go from being a shy, unconfident speaker to being a prolific speaker like yourself.
Being a confident communicator, that's just another series of behaviors that you can practice. So when people say, oh, I'm shy, I always say to them, oh, that's because you've been practicing the shy behaviors for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years.
What are the top 3 things, the practical problems that people are coming to solve when they come to you?
The #1 health and wellness podcast.
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
The one, the only Jay Shetty.
What made you commit your life to helping people find their voice and find their confidence?
I always feel like the thing we end up doing in life tends to be something that had a massive impact on us when we were younger. I don't know if you find the same to be true, but for me, man, Jay, when I was young, I was such a bad communicator. I was so bad at interactions with human beings. And the reason for that is because English is my 3rd language. So I grew up first learning a Chinese dialect called Ditiu, and then I learned Vietnamese, and then I learned English. So there was just a period of my life where I didn't understand what anybody was saying to me, and I couldn't communicate with other people. So I just went through a period of life where I felt really isolated. I didn't realize that I was doing it in my career, but as I learned how to communicate more effectively, became a professional speaker, all of this, I went, oh, wow, now I have this skill that I can teach other people. So the moment I just tried teaching it, I felt fulfillment. And I never really felt that level of fulfillment before. That's when I decided, oh, wow, it's cool to do it yourself. It's even cooler to help other people do it. And then that's kind of when I went all in with it and found so much fulfillment. And again, I'm sure you get this all the time, but it's the comments, the emails you get, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm doing something that matters.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was a magician. So I did that for years. And it feels weird to say it because I don't want to talk down on what magicians do. Not at all. It's just for me, the applause at times when I was doing magic, it felt really empty to me because I did it for so long and it started to feel a little bit empty. And then when I started teaching public speaking and communication skills, it felt full. It felt better. It felt more fulfilling.
From the way you're talking about it, you're saying that everyone can go from being a shy, insecure, unconfident speaker to being a prolific speaker like yourself.
Yes, because it's all just a series of behaviors. Everything you and I are doing right now, everything you see a great communicator do on stage, everything you see a great creator do on video, it's just a series of behaviors. The way you're moving your mouth, the way you're manipulating airflow, the way you're moving your hands, it's all just behaviors. So when people say, oh, I'm shy, I always say to them, oh, that's because you've been practicing the shy behaviors for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Being a confident communicator, that's just another series of behaviors that you can practice. And if you practice that for 10, 20, 30, you'd be a confident communicator, right? So it's just behaviors that we get attached to because it becomes a part of our identity. And then I think when it becomes a part of our identity, all of a sudden now, we feel like we're stuck, but you're not. And then there's this really interesting concept. I don't know if you've come across it before, where it's, where does your voice come from? Where do you get your voice from? You learn how to communicate based on the people you're inspired by when you were young. And you just learn behaviors from them. Like I'm watching my daughter now, my daughter Melody, she's 1. And I can see her watch us and then start to mimic the things we do.
Right.
Right? My wife the other day met her spaghetti. She wouldn't eat it. So my wife was furious. She was so upset. She was like, you're not eating it. And then she goes, She does the exact same thing, right? And then my son, he picks up the way I speak because he's 7 now. I notice he has certain nuances that I have. So again, the voice you currently have, people think, oh, that's my natural voice. It's like, no, it's not your natural voice.
Yeah.
You lost your natural voice when you were 2 or 3 years old, right? Whereas the voice you have now, that's your habitual voice. It's just a series of habits. And the thing that I find the most fascinating is that when the habits move from your conscious mind and it goes into your subconscious mind, now you feel it's a part of you and now you're stuck with it. But in the beginning of your life, you had to consciously think, oh, dad speaks really softly, so I'm going to speak really softly. But the moment you do that for 2, 3 years, now it moves into your subconscious mind. And then you go, oh, no, that's me. No, it's still just a series of behaviors.
Yeah, speaker like yourself.
That it is.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's all just a series of behaviors. Everything you and I are doing right now, everything you see a great communicator do on stage, everything you see a great creator do on video,
take a deep breath.
4 stages. It's just a series of behaviors. The way you're moving your mouth, the way you're manipulating airflow, the way you're moving your hands, it's all just behaviors. So when people say, oh, I'm shy, I always say to them, oh, that's because you've been practicing shy behaviors for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years.
And we all have
being a confident communicator, that's just another series of behaviors.
Especially in the way we speak.
And if you practice that,
when we have this mindset that you're saying, where we think
so it's just behaviors that we get attached to because it just becomes a part of our identity.
This is what you do.
And then I think when it becomes a part of our identity, all of a sudden now,
is shy,
we feel like we're stuck.
You're helping people become aware.
And then there's this really interesting concept, I don't know if you've come across before, where it's where does your voice, a series of behaviors that you can practice.
And then above
so when
that,
people say, oh, your voice is I learn how to communicate. That's because based on the people you're inspired by when you were young. And you just learn behaviors. Like I'm watching my daughter now, my daughter Melody, she's 1. And I can see her watch us and we start to mimic the things we do. Right. That's kind of a frustrating My wife the other day met her spaghetti. She wouldn't eat it. So my wife was furious. So upset. She was like, you're not eating it. And she goes, so when they do it, she does the exact same thing, right? And then my son, he picks up the way I speak.
What made you,
I noticed he has certain nuances.
And then they go, this feels so
again, it feels so phony. The voice you currently have, I always feel like the thing that's my natural seems to be something that had a massive you lost your natural voice when you were 2 or 3 years old younger. I don't know if you find the same. Whereas the voice you have now, for me, habitual voice. When I was young, I had a series of habits. And the thing that I I find the
talk
first,
about
I
that.
was
That's
so
really-
bad
I think
at when
that's
the
one of the
habits move
biggest
from your
challenges
conscious mind.
because
And the
we're
reason
both
for that is
sitting
because
here
English is my
as
third
people
language.
who
Now
trained,
I grew up
worked hard
learning
at our
Chinese
craft,
dialect,
worked hard at our
but
art.
in the beginning of your life, you have
And
to
now
manage
at this
the
point,
and
it
then
does
I
feel
learned
like
English.
unconscious.
So there was just a period of my life where
But
the moment you
a
do
lot
that,
of
you
people say,
understand
well,
what anybody was
no,
saying
but if
to
you
me.
had to learn it,
And
then it's
I
fake, it's
couldn't-
unnatural,
oh, no, that's
it's
me.
not real, it's phony.
It's still
But
just a
what's the
series of
difference
behaviors.
between developing
Yeah,
skill?
because
I've
it's
always
all
loved
just
that
series.
model of
Everything you and I are doing right now,
unconscious
everything you see a
unconscious
great communicator do on stage, everything you see a great creative on stage, take a deep breath. It's just a series of behaviors. The reason the way you're moving your mouth, the way you're manipulating airflow, the way you're moving your hands, it's all now behavior. So when people say, oh, I don't know, I always, that's because I doing it whatever it is. When you use those I felt I don't know if you know what you have now, but for me, it's a true when I was young, I'm sure you get that. And the thing that I found was I was when the habit moved from your conscious mind, and the reason for that is because English is my third language. Now you start working on Chinese dialects on teachers, and then you have to manage the thing like you stand on your English. So there was just a period of my life where but the moment you do that, you have to learn, and I couldn't, it's not real, it's phony. But what's the difference between labeling it as everything you see a great communicator do on stage, everything you see a great creative on stage, it's just a series of behaviors. The way you're moving your mouth, the way you're manipulating airflow, the way you're moving your hands, it's all now behavior you do on stage. So people say, oh, I don't know, I always I showed but the moment you do
Bye.